Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. Today we have 3 stories out of the Entitled Parents subreddit. Let's begin. Our first post is by Do Get to 69. Karen thinks violin teacher's house is a free babysitting service. As a backstory, my violin teacher teaches her classes out of her own house, often teaching kids back-to-back lessons for 10 hours. She gets along with all of her students and most of the parents. I say most because there's one mom whose name is actually Karen. She is divorced and gets her ex-husband to pay for all these lessons that are not cheap. Therefore, she doesn't care about anything. The kid is nice though. In the past, she's done crazy entitled stuff like sunbathing in her lawn waiting for the kid's lesson, and then inviting some of her friends over with snacks they just leave there. Another time, she ordered takeout during one of the lessons and just left it there for the teacher to clean up. This time, she brings her kid in the morning for class and leaves. My teacher is very relieved, but it's too good to be true. She didn't come back to pick him up after class, and then the next student came, and then the next. At this point, she called the mom and texted her several times, and the poor kid was distracting all her other students. Finally, after 5 hours, she responds with, "Kay," and finally comes, but refused to leave the car, and tells my teacher to walk him over. It's literally a 10-second walk. Apparently, my teacher is a free babysitting service for special customers. Needless to say, she refused to teach this kid now. This is, in my opinion, one of the problems with entitled parents, is that they abuse the goodwill of other people. And at a certain point, people stop tolerating their bad behavior. And in this case, as a result of the mom trashing this woman's lawn and leaving a mess for the teacher to clean up, and then on top of all of that, leaving the kid at her house, just abandoning the kid there for several hours, like she's just there to babysit the kid. And it's the final straw, and I can't say that I blame the teacher for not wanting the kid back if it meant not having to deal with his mother. And it's unfortunate because it sounds like the kid didn't do anything wrong. Unfortunately, if this is normal behavior for his mother, this kind of thing is going to keep happening over and over again because his mother doesn't understand boundaries, and it's not her getting punished for it, it's her kid, so she doesn't care. Personally, if I was the teacher, I would have called and texted the mom and said, if you don't get over here and pick up your kid, I'm calling social services and the police. Anyway, moving on to our next story. Our next story is posted by Commit Kurt Cobain, single mom at Costco. So as you all know, people are freaking out about the Voldemort virus. So they're doing everything they can to get their hands on supplies to last the quarantine. My family decided that we were going to try to go to Costco today to get preparations for a couple of weeks of dinners and some home essentials like most others are doing. As we were walking around and picking up supplies that we need, I started to notice that the store is basically in chaos. People were hoarding items such as toilet paper. Although Costco has limited the amount of rolls a single person can buy at one time, there were a couple of people bickering back and forth about items, etc. It was kind of funny to see people acting so immature in a time to panic. My family and I took our groceries to the checkout line, as you do, and stood behind a woman and her 2 children. My dad and I started chuckling together about how much a madhouse the grocery store was when a woman standing in front of us whipped around and started shouting at us to keep our germs to ourselves. She had a gigantic stick up her butt about how us being too close to her and her children and how we were spreading our germs. It was a bit strange, but understandable, I suppose. When the woman in front of us finally got to the checkout counter, she started unpacking a good 10 to 15 packs of toilet paper, as well as her other food groceries to be scanned. As I mentioned earlier, Costco had to put a limit of 1 pack of toilet paper per person, which meant that this woman would have to put all but 1 pack back where she found them. The cashier mentioned this fact to the woman, and she replies by saying, "Well, I'm a single mom and I need these toilet paper rolls for my family, so we don't have to come back out here to get sick once the virus spreads more." To which the cashier replied, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but being a single mom doesn't have any impact on the limit. So I'm going to have to ask you to please put the excess toilet paper back." This woman was not having it. She had the audacity to start yelling at the cashier about how he should be respecting her because she works her butt off to maintain the peace because of her cheating, lying husband took all her money when they divorced. While this is going on, the line is getting very long and people were getting impatient. So the cashier calmly tells her to either pay and take her groceries, not including the toilet paper, paper or get out of line. This woman reluctantly agrees and proceeds to hand the cashier her card. Before the cashier can complete the transaction, the woman asks the cashier if she can have a discount because she's a single mom and can't afford everything she put in her cart. Now, I had been standing in line for a good 20 minutes now, and this really got on my nerves. I don't understand why people are so uncooperative, especially about things like this. Edit. To those in the comments, no, she didn't get a discount. By the way, if anybody's wondering, a Costco pack of toilet paper isn't 6 rolls, it's 30 rolls. That's enough to last for several months. I mean, I live in a house with 2 people, and that many rolls lasts us about 6 months, unless, I don't know, you were trying to clean up a giant water spill with using only toilet paper, in which case there's much more absorbent things to use that are better than toilet paper. But the whole Voldemort virus thing and people freaking out over toilet paper, my sister was in the grocery store and had a similar thing occur there too. This guy walked up to the cash register and wanted to buy 5 packages of toilet paper. And these are the 6-packs, and there's signs all over the store saying 1 pack per customer. And the cashier basically told him the same thing, that you can only buy 1. And the guy threw a mini temper tantrum right there in the line, and he's like, I didn't know that I could only purchase 1. And my sister says, open your eyes and look around. There's signs everywhere that say you can only have 1. And so he purchased his 1 and stomped out of the store like a toddler. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is getting ridiculous. Anyway, on to our next story. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. Our final story is posted by Princess Cheeto 77. 3 EMs send their kids over for food because I have too much. Backstory number 1. I have a working pantry, which means I have food that will last my family for up to 3 months. It's food that we eat and use, so I'm constantly restocking and rotating it. I'm not exactly a prepper, but it does come in handy for emergencies. Backstory number 2. I've been self-quarantined for a few weeks now, due to my compromised immune system. No one outside of our family is allowed inside the house, and we don't answer the door if we don't have to. We also have a Ring doorbell, so we can communicate with people without answering the door. Backstory number 3. I used to coupon to the point that I could have been on the Extreme Couponing show. That's how I built up my food storage quickly. In the past, neighborhood kids quickly learned that my son had a lot of snacks that I was willing to share. In turn, their parents learned I had a large food storage, which I never wanted to advertise, but oh well. I didn't think it would be a problem at the time. Yeah, I was dumb. I no longer coupon with the same intensity due to my declining health, but I do smaller trips, an extra can or 2 each grocery order to maintain my food storage. Sorry for the novel, on to the story. Our city is in the first few days of quarantine. Schools and workplaces have been closed, but our grocery stores are still open, albeit wiped out and overwhelmed. Yesterday, the doorbell rang at 9:30 a.m. I checked the Ring app and showed a neighborhood kid, about 5 years old, standing on my porch. So I press the talk button and tell him, hi. Hi, he said. I'm here for the food. Confused, I asked, what food? Mommy said you have food for me, he replied. I'm sorry, honey, but I don't. I'm sure your mommy has food for you at home. Okay, bye. He waved at the camera and left. I brushed it off because that kid was known for making stuff up, so I settled back into bed. Almost half an hour later, the doorbell rings again, and when I check it, there are 2 kids standing there. One of the kids is my neighbor across the street, and the other lives on the street behind me. When I greet them through the Ring app, it's the same story. Their mom told them I had food to give them. I quickly told them no and to go talk to their moms. They said okay and went on their way. While they walk away, I sent off a text to the 3 moms. Your kids stopped by my house saying, you told them I have food for them. I don't. Why are you telling them that? EM1. What about all the food you have in your food storage? Me. What about it? EM1. You have a lot. You can share. EM2. You've shared before. Me. My food storage is enough for my family. If I had anything to spare, I would gladly share, but I don't. EM3. But you have lots of food. Me. Again, for my family, the stores are still open. If you need food, you'll have to try your luck there. EM1. Or we could just come over and take your stuff. EM2. Yeah, I doubt you could stop us. All 3 know about my health and mobility issues. Me. Try it, and I'll meet you at my driveway with my shotgun and an angry Rottweiler, and my even angrier husband. EM3. Are you threatening us? Me. You threatened to steal my property, so I'm just returning the favor. flavor. EM1. Biatch. Me. Oh no! You called me a bad word. I think I'm gonna go cry. I better drown my sadness by eating all of those yummy snacks I have in my food storage. Lol. They didn't respond back, but I heard from a few of my neighbors that EM1 was complaining to anyone who would listen that I'm a mean person for letting her kids go hungry. Several people asked her why she was trying to take food away from an ill person. I have several chronic illnesses as well as have me more or less homebound. When she bulk buys at Costco every 2 weeks, she didn't have an answer for that and stopped complaining about me soon afterwards. She did end up going to the store to buy stuff, but was super pissed because the lines were super long and she was there for about an hour. Now, it's times like these that we kind of forget how lucky we are to live in a time where you could just go to the grocery store and pick up a few items for the day or for the week. And we never stop to think, or maybe we do, about what could happen tomorrow. What happens if a mass panic or a mass disease hits our country or the world? And what are we gonna do? I mean, some people, I know my family, we have shelf-stable food, and a lot of other people have shelf-stable food. But you know, I've been told my whole life that you should have shelf-stable food, batteries, candles, extra medications if needed, and all of that stuff because I live in an earthquake zone. But I also think people in general should just be prepared for an emergency, have an evacuation plan for yourself and your family, you know, just to be on the safe side. So because the EMs were too lazy to put together their own emergency supplies and their own kit, they're threatening the OP in the story and thinking that the OP is the one in the wrong here. No, it's the EMs. And the EM who claims that her kid's gonna go hungry, well, no, her kid's gonna go hungry because the mother was too lazy to not think ahead. Anyway, that's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.